Water is one of the main essences of life. Even the most barren land can be transformed with water. In part 1, we showed you how Manavendra Shekhawat used traditional wisdom to transform 500 acres of wasteland into an oasis. But bringing water was only the first step. Being a hotelier, Manavendra Shekhawat had to live most part of his life in cities. And every city he went to had the same buildings, the same designs, same water management systems, and the same old problems. So when he saw a land now filled with water and immense potential in front of his eyes, he saw a huge possibility to do something with it.
So I feel that if most of the population is going to migrate to cities because that is where economic opportunity is, and if our cities are becoming unlivable, unaffordable and unsustainable, then we definitely need a new paradigm of how we think about creating cities or more specifically creating our living environments. So I am deeply convinced that if you are able to create exceptional living environments that are more livable, they are more affordable and they are more sustainable, it's an important problem to solve for, and it is a very scalable business premise as well. So that is my conviction.
Building a functional ecosystem of this magnitude is never an easy task. The soil contained high levels of fluoride and salt. The team had to find an ingenious design to solve their problems. The first step was to meet experts who could help him create an ecological master plan.
When we came here, the first thing we said was we need a vegetation palette. So palette is a list of species with their details that are native to this region, as well as something that can adapt to this place but not become invasive. So that is a thin line between adapting and being invasive.
They started by surveying the land and dividing them into sections according to the topography and soil types. This was done to understand what plants can grow where.
So the trees that require the least amount of water and are already fit to grow in this ecological context, we started getting them. And so all the trees that we planted are from that vegetation palette. So these trees are essentially what grows really well here is khechdi, desi babool, senjana, jal की कुछ varieties हैं, सफ़ेद सिरिस, काला सिरिस, जामुन, बेर, केर, ये सब हम लोगों ने पेड़ लगाए यहाँ पे.
The idea was to have as many native species of trees as possible. The team selected 108 types of native trees, shrubs and grasses and grew them with care in their own nursery before transplanting them into the land. Community grazing of cattle from nearby areas was encouraged to boost the health of the soil.
We opened our entire land to all the gaushalas around to design their grazing patterns in a way that we would keep them at some places for some time, and then we kept on moving the places that they could graze. And that really helped us loosen the soil.
They also identified traditional grasses of Rajasthan's desert ecology. These grasses play a huge role in nitrogen fixation of the soil and also attract migratory birds.
I mean, if I talk of desert ecologies specifically, grasslands have a huge role to play. So we have bui, we have sevan, which all animals love. We have dhecha, that is extremely nitrogen fixing. We have kasa, we have dedon. It is only after we planted the grasslands and grasses here that fundamentally the quality of soil started changing. Water seepage into the soil increased exponentially. Our wells had water, and it has a multiplier effect on everything that you're wanting to do with revival of local ecology.
Today, Dhun is home to around 70 species of native trees. Manavendra and his family live here. This transformation has transcended beyond the boundaries of Dhun to the nearby villages.
मेरा मानना है कि मैं एज ए सरपंच इस पूरी ग्राम पंचायत में जो रोड है डामर की या जो कटाई वाले रास्ते हैं उन पे पेड़ लगाएं, तो वो मैं पिछले 6 महीने से पेड़ों के प्रति लोगों को अवेयर कर रहा हूँ और अब जाके लोगों की ये भावना होना शुरू हो गई कि पेड़ लगने चाहिए। जैसे रायथल स्कूल में हमने गड्ढे खुदवा दिए, जाबड़ से गोंदी रोड पे हमने पेड़ लगवाए। ये मानवेंद्र जी की ही सहयोग है कि उन्होंने लगभग 400 पेड़ लगवाए और ट्री गार्ड भी दिए हमें।
But for Dhun, this is just the beginning of a dream. Though a majority of the land in Dhun will be left free for nature, Manavendra now hopes to create ecologically sustainable living quarters here.
The first thing that we will do here is to put certain social anchors around learning, around imagination, around incubating interesting ideas, building a creator's village that will bring these mad hatters who are pursuing moonshots to this place. And once that community starts, we hit the critical mass, that will inform the way that this place needs to be developed. So that's really the idea. What we are essentially trying to create is a model of creating living environments that are most suited for the passion economy.
He plans to build a culinary academy that will promote local foods with a low carbon footprint. He also plans to build a sanctuary for artists and innovators. All this is being done while keeping nature intact.
We are hopeful that we will take this through and make a settlement that looks like a city but isn't quite a city, because it's not at that scale. But it can demonstrate that if you build in this manner and you build responsibly, so it's not just your energy cost or your material cost or this or that, it's also the way you build society, build communities, how you share responsibilities, how you have shared resources and you all respect them. So if we can do that here, hopefully we can say, case proved, now you guys see if you want to do it or not.